Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what is on my iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I made a similar video last year, but I wanted to redo it this year as there's a couple of new apps and I wanted to touch on the new phone and my lock screen setup. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, let's start off with the phone itself. So I have the iPhone 14 Pro Max in the silver with the standard memory storage, 128 gig. I'm also using a Spigen clear MagSafe case on this at the moment. Really like these cases, shows off the colour lovely and still gives you the ability to use those MagSafe capabilities. Okay, so the next thing to cover is the actual lock screen itself. So as you can see, I have the lock screen always on display and I have that as black, and you can go into the settings and set this so you don't show your wallpaper. You can also not show your notifications, but I like to keep that on. But yeah, so I have it black, a bit less distracting than when you've got the actual wallpaper showing in the background. But if I do tap, you can see that I do have a Apple wallpaper currently on my screen. I also have the 4 widgets, so battery, weather, rings, steps, that comes from my Aura ring, and then just really keeping it nice and simple with the date and time at the top. So that is the lock screen, the actual home screen that I currently have. So on this home screen I do have some widgets, but I only have 3 widgets, and these are the only widgets that I have currently on my phone. So I have the calendar widget, just to keep track of what I need to do throughout the day, remind me to pick my daughter up. I have my fitness widget, so to track my exercise and activity and stand goals. As you can see, not doing particularly well today. And then I have the Apple weather widget. I just use the standard Apple weather app. I find it really quite accurate and nice and easy to use. So those are the widgets that I have. Okay, so moving on to some of the other apps that I have. So you'll see that I have some just apps and then I have some folders. And the thinking behind this on this particular home screen is that I have some easy access ones that I spend a lot of time in, so they sit outside of a folder, and then the ones that I use daily but don't want to have quick access to go in folders. So for instance, my social media, trying to stay away from that a little bit so it stays in the folder and it gives it a little bit more of friction for me to be able to just go in quickly and do those. So let's talk about the apps that are on here. So if we start at the top, I have my Photos app, self-explanatory. I just use the Apple Photos app. I do have access to Google Photos, which is good. So I have that because I also have an Android phone, so it's useful to be able to take photos on both and share on both. I then have the Amazon app because who doesn't shop on Amazon? Again, trying to stay away from that, but you know, I do like to browse it most days. Camera app, self-explanatory, and then I've got my fantasy football app. So yes, I am a football fan, so I like to do the fantasy football. So that's there because I'm always checking on my team and trying to do transfers. On to the next row, I have my reminders. So this is the Apple reminders. I use this as my to-do list, my reminders. I find that this has probably been the best app for me for capturing those to-do lists and setting reminders. You can have smart reminders and all sorts within there, so it's really useful, really simple, and it's free, so I like to use that. I have my banking app, self-explanatory again, and then I have my Sky Sports. So this is where I check the football scores and news, so I go into that most days to check on the football news. And then I have my social media. So in here I have a few apps. So I have Facebook, I have Medium, which is a blogging platform, which is really good. So I put most of my blog posts, actually all of them, up on there as well as my website. We then have Twitter. So I'm trying to grow on here as well at the moment. So I'm checking that and posting quite frequently. TikTok, I haven't really done too much with, but it stays in there because I would like to try and get back on that. Slack for communities, so I do chat with a few people on there, but I don't use it too much. Substack for newsletters, and of course Instagram, which I use daily. So I post stories, reels, and just general pictures on there. So that's my social media. And then down onto the bottom, so we have Discord. So Discord, if you don't use it, is really cool. So I'm part of a few tech communities on here. So yeah, I'm in that most days, chatting with like-minded tech enthusiasts. It's really cool. Photos and videos. So this is where I keep my YouTube, because, you know, I like to watch YouTube and check out the other tech YouTubers on there. YouTube Studio to keep a check on videos and my short form content. Lightroom. I do all of my editing in Lightroom for my photos. It's a really good app and it's free on the mobile. Then I have my gimbal app. So not really done too much with the gimbal, so I'm still experimenting with this. I might try and do a video on it. I'm not too sure yet. This is a new app for me. So Premiere Rush. So this is what I use to edit my video for Reels and YouTube Shorts. Finding it really good. They've got some good presets in there. So, you know, I can use that as a starting point and then tweak, which is really nice. And then Blink. So that's my camera apps that I use around the house. Okay, and then moving on to the next folder that I have on my phone. So this is my health and fitness. So this is one that I'm really trying to pay quite a bit of attention to this year. One of my main goals is to increase my fitness. I also want to increase my VO2 max. And I do have a goal of running a 5K under 30 minutes this year. So really need to get on the training with that. But if we go in here, we can see I have my Aura Ring. So, there we go. So all of my data stays within that app. My Steps app, which I have on my Apple Watch, So that tracks all my steps. My Sweat Coin. So this is an interesting one. This tracks my exercise through steps and you get rewards. It's quite interesting. You should maybe check it out. It's quite good. Athletic is another app which I have on my Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch feeds into, and it provides information around readiness and things along those lines. Vitality, so that's my health insurance app. If I do a certain amount of exercise on a per week basis, you get a number of points and you get some free stuff like free cinema tickets and things like that. And then my health app, because I just like to have it on there. And last but not least, on my home screen, we have the Notes app. So this is my go-to for kind of like my second brain, I guess. I capture most things in here, so you can see I capture notes on different challenges and ideas and all sorts within here. So I've captured what, you know, the script for my video today that we're doing. And yeah, I really like Apple Notes. For a native app on Apple that's free, I really don't think you can go too far wrong. And then we've got the bar below. So this is just kind of like the ones that I use daily. So I've got my mail. I use the mail app. I've got the Safari app, the phone, and also my messaging app of choice, which is WhatsApp. So that all stays down there for quick, easy access. And then we will move on to my second page, and there's not much on here at all. So I have Google Apps, so Google Classroom for tracking what my daughter's up to, and Google Drive and Google Photos for, you know, keeping them all together so it's nice and easy to find. I then have entertainment, so I just have Sky Go and Prime Video on here. Reasoning being, my daughter likes to watch a few things, so it's quite nice to have on, so when we're out and about and, you know, she's getting bored, you know, we've got something that she can watch. And then finally we have my finance apps. So this is generally just, you know, a couple of ones. So I've got credit card, but there's a couple of things in here like free trade. So I like to buy some stocks each month, just putting a little bit in every month and buying some shares. And Coinbase I use for my crypto. Must admit, not putting too much in there at the moment, but, you know, I like to keep an eye on it, and eventually when things steady back out, hopefully I'll start using that a bit more. So that's really it. Then we've got, you know, the apps library, which has got all the other apps that I use, but not frequently. So if I do need to use them, I can just, type into there, and yeah, we're good to go. But generally, that is it for what is on my iPhone. I've tried to keep it quite nice and minimal, quite organized, so I can be quite intentional with what I'm actually using on my phone. So yeah, if you liked this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and give me a like, good old thumbs up. Really helps the channel. I'm really trying to grow, so any support that you can give would be most grateful. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.